Hello, I'm Paul Cowell from the Whitestone Country Inn in Kingston, Tennessee. It's a new year. It's a time to make resolutions and change things and try to get your life where you want it to be this year. We all tend to make those determinations as we start each new year, and January is certainly a good time to do that. I wonder if you've thought about what your dreams are and how to get there. Most people have them if they haven't been killed along the way by life itself. Years ago, I ran into teaching about the 4 steps to the fulfillment of a dream. It's been significant to me through the years. It might be to you. The first step in fulfilling a dream is to have one. God gives you a vision to do something. You can see that in the life of David in the Old Testament specifically, where he was a shepherd boy. He was in a pretty lowly situation. He was just a teenager. And he certainly wasn't thinking about being the king of Israel. Samuel comes down under God's direction to anoint a king, and they go through all of his brothers, and none of them fit in. And so they finally call David in from the fields. He's the least significant of the brothers. And Samuel says, "This is the man." And he anoints David as the coming king of Israel. That would be the birth of the vision. Things are changing. The second stage is the death of the vision. Although David rises in popularity through killing Goliath, he gets moved into Saul's household. He's a part of the royal entourage. But then Saul gets jealous of him, starts throwing javelins at him, and he spends 15 years chasing him around Israel trying to kill him. The vision is dead. It looks like David's going to be dead before he ever sees the fulfillment of the vision. So the birth of the vision, then the vision dies, the death of the vision. There's no way to see it fulfilled, and it looks impossible. The third step in this process is the opportunity to fulfill the vision but violate a principle. David is in a cave, running from Saul, hiding, and he goes into the back of a cave, and Saul comes in the front of the cave to sleep. David could have killed him. In fact, I think I might have said, "God has delivered Saul supernaturally into my hands. Look, he's come into my cave." And since I'm already anointed to be king, I would have thought David might say, "This is my opportunity to do that." But he saw touching God's anointed as the wrong thing to do. And he said, "Saul is God's problem." So he cut off a little piece of his robe and went outside and called and woke Saul up and said, "I don't want to do you any harm. I could have killed you. Here's a piece of your robe that I cut off while you slept." And so he had that third step was the opportunity to fulfill the vision, but violate a principle. The fourth step is God supernaturally fulfills the vision. And David eventually gets to be king because Saul and his household are destroyed in battle through rather supernatural circumstances. So the 4 steps are the birth of the vision, the death of the vision, the opportunity to fulfill the vision but violate a principle, and then God supernaturally fulfills the vision when you pass that test. You may can even see that in the life of Moses. He certainly has a vision to deliver the children of Israel from slavery in Egypt, but at age 40, he kills an Egyptian. I might see that as doing the wrong thing. The opportunity to fulfill the vision, start the liberation of Israel, but violated a principle. As a result, he went into hiding in Midian for 40 years before God calls him at the burning bush. Maybe you can see it in the life of Joseph as well. The birth of the vision, he has a dream about his father and his brothers bowing down to him, and tells the dream and gets sold into slavery. He has an opportunity to move up and stay at least where he is, rising in popularity with Potiphar's wife. He rejects that, saying it would be a wrong thing. How can I commit this sin against God? Winds up in jail. And then God supernaturally fulfills the vision with the interpretation of dreams, even for Pharaoh. So look at your own life, where you are. You may have a dream, a vision that's been there a while, and God gives you the vision a long time before he gives you the fulfillment. I had the vision to do Whitestone in 1963. I made notes. I started measuring hotel rooms, and it looked like there was just no way to do it. Through the years, I had the vision, but I didn't have the resources or the means. And then I had an opportunity to fulfill the vision by taking a state park here in Tennessee. Then they told me I couldn't give discounts to people I wanted to give discounts to pastors, missionaries, or for that matter, anybody else. That since it was state property, it had to be equal for everybody, and it was an opportunity to fulfill the vision but violate a principle. And then God supernaturally fulfilled the vision, and Whitestone came into being. But in your life, I'll bet you can look and say, I have a dream, but maybe it seems like it's dead. Maybe you violated a principle to do what you thought you were supposed to do. And then there's a waiting period that has to go on after that. The birth of the vision, the death of the vision, the opportunity to fulfill the vision but violate a principle. I hope that applies somewhere in your life today. You'll seek God for the fulfillment of the visions that he gives you to do what he's called you to do. Hope it's a great new year.